Hi everyone, welcome back for another video. Today I want to cover a couple of things. The competition, I want to announce who's actually won the tyre inflator. Also want to update you because I've installed an infrared panel, a bathroom rated Chiesa 350 watt infrared panel in our cloakroom. I haven't been able to install it in all of our wet rooms. But I wanted to update you on how that's gone and what I think of the infrared panel itself. And I wanted to do that before I did my month-end stats. It's the 31st of December, I've got the stats to gather, and to try and update you on our energy usage for the end of year, for the entire year of 2021, plus also December. And despite the sunshine actually shining today, December has been abysmal. I haven't seen the sun for nearly a fortnight. We've had like heavy fog cover or heavy cloud cover every single day. And in November, I think I talked it up saying that we've had a week of where we've had really low generation and one day where there was zero generation. So that's probably about it. On average, we don't get any more weeks like that. Lo and behold, we've had an entire month of it. So yeah, I got that wrong, didn't I? Anyway, so this isn't going to be an energy update video. This is about the infrared smart panel. Now, the thing that's been holding me back is getting power into the rooms because you're not allowed to have power switches, electric devices inside your bathrooms, inside your wet rooms. So I've been waiting until I can have a professional help me get power in there. Now, unfortunately, we've sort of failed. My brother is a qualified electrician, and when he reviewed what I'm looking to do and what I want to do, the two main bathrooms for our ensuite and bathroom, getting power in there is really, really difficult. I think we've worked out what I need is to drill a hole in the floor to get access to the power from some of the sockets and run an extension from there to a place where I can reach then into the bathroom. The problem is, if you pull up the floor, I've got to pull up the carpet, and I've got to pull up major, it's the plyboard stuff, so it's chipboard, and they're huge, huge boards. I've got to pull up lots or cut a hole in them. And if you cut a hole in, then how do you refit it? But apparently there are devices that you can cut plugs at an angle like that, rather than cutting it straight down. You can cut it at an angle, so when you put the wood back, it goes as a plug and it refits back in. So we're going to try and get hold of one of those devices so that we can then get power into our bathroom. So yeah, it's been more complicated than I'd like. It would be easier, obviously, if we just employed a plumber or electrician to come in and do it. But I have tried our regular plumber electrician, and he's just not available. He's too full booked up, so I couldn't get him here. So yeah, getting tradespeople in to do these things for me isn't the easiest. I don't have an infinite budget. These sort of videos do not pay for all of these things to be done. So it's not an easy thing to buy new panels, have them installed, and then go and change my mind and install something different and try something different. One, I'm messing around with the house more than I want to, and two, it's just not easy to try these things. So anyway, we've got one in, and the one was quite easy. It's drilling a hole straight through the wall from my cloakroom into the garage, and then running the power cable from the infrared panel into the garage so that it's plugged in the garage, where it's safe. I can add a Chiesa smart plug and turn it on and off safely and meet all the regulations, etc. So that one has been easy. Well, I say easy, drilling the hole was easy, and a nice chunk of plaster fell off and made a right mess. So I've got a little bit of polyfillering to do at some point. But it's in and it's installed. It only took two more holes, one hole for the power cable and two holes to hang the panel on. The panel is supposed to or can have up to 4 holes, plugs, screws to hang it on, but we only did 2. 2 seemed adequate. And it's in working, so it's a 350 watt, it's a glass panel. I bought some mirror ones. I've got 1 mirror and 2 black panels, or 1 black panel and 2 mirror. I can't remember which, but I bought 3, and they were about £130 each. They're not a cheap item compared to these oil-filled radiators that I'm using, but they are an attractive item. It does fit nicely on the wall. Even in our small cloakroom, it has fitted okay. And it does look okay. The biggest problem was deciding whether to try and go as central in the wall as possible for symmetry, or whether to do the symmetry based on how much there was of the wall to the fan on the wall. I think you can see here from the picture, up here somewhere, what I mean. So fitting it to be central in the room or central to the space that was there was the only problem. As it turns out, I think I have fitted it slightly incorrectly, and I might need to fine tune it with another installation on the wall. And that's because of where it's heating. So let me describe to you what's actually happening with the heat. I've tried having it on for an hour, and it doesn't really feel like it does a lot of good at all. I've had it on for 2 hours and in the morning, and when you go to use the bathroom, it is nice and warm, and you feel the warmth from the panel, and that's the big one. As soon as you open the door, the panel is aiming at you, so as you walk in the room, you feel the warmth from the infrared rays. It's like walking into the sunshine, and that's how I describe how the panel is really working. You know, when the sun hits a wall outside and that area of the wall that has the sunshine on gets warm, that's exactly how the infrared panel seems to work. So when you open the door and you go in, you get that warmth. But where you don't get the warmth is on the floor, because the pipes with the water in that would heat the radiator normally aren't heating the floor at all. And the heat is being angled more upwards because it's quite high up in the room where I fitted it, and it's not pointing down at all. So it is heating the top half of the room, the infrastructure of the room. And I've measured the temperature of the door and of the wall around, and on the days where I've tried it for 3 hours continuously, so from 3:30 in the morning till 6:30 in the morning using cheap rate OCTOPUS energy, the temperature of the top of the door and the top of the walls was over 28 degrees C, and then halfway down the wall was 25, further down was 21, and the floor was 18.5 degrees C. So what you can tell is that it is heating the infrastructure in the room, but it is heating it more for where it's pointing, and therefore if I wanted to heat it further down, I'd have to angle it a little further down. But it's not actually warming up the toilet that's in there or the basin that's in there. The heat isn't really hitting that. It's warming it up a little, but it's not warming it up as much as if you were heating the air and that was heating it. So it's doing a very different job as to how it heats, and it's not unpleasant. In fact, you know, thoughts about whether infrared panels are the holy grail of heating. You know, they don't smell. There's no dust on it that's burning off on a radiator. There's no gurgling. There's no creaking of floorboards because of the pipes expanding. So it's quiet, it's silent, there's no smell. It's a good, clean way of heating, and it's an efficient way of heating. It's an efficient way of converting electricity into heat. So it's a very effective device, and it really does work. But there is a difference, a nuance to how the heat feels in the room compared to how it does if you had a radiator on. And I would suggest it's actually a nicer type of heat. It does feel good. And I suppose, I don't know, because you're heating the walls, which are then heating the air. I really can't describe why. All I can give you is the subjective feeling that it feels okay, it feels good, but it's not as instant as I would like. So I'm not sure whether these panels are the perfect solution for a bathroom or not. I'm not sure if I want to leave it on permanently throughout the day. And the big reason for saying that is, if I think back to how I was as a child in the 70s, I don't think we had any heat in the bathroom at all. We had one of these panels that would be up, not a panel, a bar heater sort of thing that would be up on the wall here with a pull cord, and the bars would turn red, whether you have 1 bar or 2 bars on, etc. So you'd go in for a bath and you'd turn the heater on, you'd come out and you'd turn the heater off. It was instantaneous heat. And other than that, I don't think there was any radiators or source of heat in the bathroom. So yeah, what I've got right now with no source of heat in the bathrooms, because I'm not using my oil boiler, it's like going back in time. It's a backward step. And that's made me think about that as a process. You know, was the way that we worked in the 70s with no heat in the bathrooms, was that the right way to do it? Or is it right now with central heating systems that we have the heat on all the time? And you can say, yes, it's more modern, yes, it's more of a luxury, yes, it's more of a creature comfort. We have advanced and we can have heat thermostatically, electronically controlled, and it's better. But why heat a room that you're only going to go in 2 or 3 times a day and heat it all day? Is that a sensible thing to do? Is that the right thing to do? So yes, it's a luxury, yes, it's pleasant, and yes, going in from one room to another and it feeling warm in every room is lovely. But is it right? Is it right for the environment? Is it right for energy use? Is it efficient? Is it Is it the right thing to be doing now? Is it necessary? And not having the heat in the bathrooms and feeling the difference between having a central heating system that would keep those rooms warm versus having it no heat in there, it showed me a really big difference, and it has made me question whether it's the right thing to do to have these radiators on all day and have these rooms warm all day when we're not actually using them all day. If I wanted it in a perfect condition, it is like you want to go in the room, turn the heater on, pull the pull cord, have the heat while you're in there, and then turn it off when you come out. But that seems rather backward. So you almost want to anticipate your time in there and have it hot just in time. And I guess that's where central heating works, doesn't it? Because you have it on all the time, anticipating your needs. But that luxury is pretty wasteful, isn't it? It's not very efficient at all to heat a room that you're going to use for 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, most. Who knows how long people want to spend in a bathroom. Some people more than others, I guess. But it has made me question the amount of energy I want to put into it. So let's put that thought into numbers. If I use 3 units of energy in the morning to heat that room for our morning use of that cloakroom, that's 3 times 4.5 pence. It's 15 pence of energy a day. So times that by 30, £1.50, £4.50. We're talking £4.50 a day £4.50 a month to heat that room so it's lovely, toasty and warm for my first visit, or the family's first visit, to the cloakroom in the morning. Is that worth it, £4.50? Now, if you don't have Octopus Energy and you don't have that really cheap tariff, I mean, when I change my tariff, which I'll have to, I guess, when the year contract expires with Octopus Energy, then what will that price of energy be? I mean, what if it was 25 pence a kilowatt hour? 25 pence times 3 kilowatt hours of use is 75 pence, times 30 is 750. That's £21 a month to visit the bathroom once or twice in the morning and have it more comfortable than it would be if we didn't. Oh, this sun. Right, sorry, I'm really struggling with the sunshine here. It is really sunny out there and it's so low in December, it's preventing me filming there, so sorry about that. Where was I? Yeah, I was talking about the numbers. So if it was a really expensive tariff, £21, so you're talking £4 a month, cheap, £21, £22 a month if it was expensive energy. But if I wanted to keep that heater on all day and heat the bathroom all day, then how many hours would it have to be on for? Probably about 14, 15 hours, but with a thermostat control, it would go on and off. So maybe it might be as high as 10 hours of energy. Maybe that would be about the worst case scenario on a really cold day. 350 watts, that's 3.5 kilowatt hours a day. Multiply that by 30 for the entire month. We're talking 90 to 100 kilowatt hours of energy to heat that room for a couple of uses a day. And I think that extreme of going back to the 70s and thinking we didn't have any heat and we got by, versus the luxury of modern living and then we have it on for that moment that we go in and it's lovely and warm, is 60 quid a month worth it to have our bathrooms warm all of the time when we're not in them all of the time? Yeah, there's some issues there, isn't there? And to be efficient, you'd really not want the heat there all the time, but you'd want some heat that was more controllable. So it's maybe a lower level of background heat, but you'd want to boost that heat while you're in that. I don't know. How does that fit with you? What are your thoughts about the cost of heating rooms that you don't use very many times or for very many hours a day? What is your view on how much energy and money, but mostly it's energy that I'm interested in, how much energy do we heat these rooms with that we don't spend time in? And is that really worth it? Is it something that we should or shouldn't be doing? Have we just got to a point where we are living a luxurious lifestyle and we've got used to the idea of heat in every room being great everywhere just for when you use it, even if you're only using that room for 10 minutes a day? I don't know. I don't know how that sits with me yet. Anyway, so I've got lots of thoughts going through my head about the efficiency of heating bathrooms and the timing of heating bathrooms and the method of heating them. So using this infrared panel, it's provided a nice sense of warmth and a nice feeling from it, and it does work, and it's great in extreme weather situations to be able to have that heat source to use. But it is feeling like on a day like today, you know, anything from 10 to 14 degrees outside, why would I want to heat the bathroom at all? And it would be not just luxurious, it would feel wasteful if I did it. So I'm not sure which way I would want to go with heating the bathrooms. What do you think? What do you think the right answer is? Central heating systems? You know, even with an air source heat pump system, is a lower background heat the right sort of thing for a bathroom? Would an air source heat pump make a better way of heating bathrooms? Or perhaps the radiators using the immersion heaters, perhaps that is the perfect way of doing it, because then they can be timed and I can have them on at just the times we're more likely to go into the bathroom, but then have them off at times when you're less likely to. I can't work it all out is basically what's going on. The infrared panel has confused me because it works, but I just don't know whether it works well enough that I want to install the other two or not. And I think I'm tempted to install them because I want a heat source, but I'm also tempted not to install them because I think the immersion heater in the radiator might be a better solution. But I don't like the idea of committing to using wet radiators when I haven't quite actually committed to doing that. So yeah, it's it's a fascinating time, and yeah, I think this is one of the rare videos where what I'm showing you is the pondering, I just don't know. The infrared panel does work and does heat. The panel itself gets up to 85 degrees, and therefore it does kick off some radiated heat from it as well. So I'm not sure whether these glass panel infrared panels work differently to the non-glass ones, or whether the other ones heat up to that sort of temperature as well, because 85 degrees is bloody hot, isn't it? It's hotter than what my radiator would be. I think our radiator would only heat up to the temperature of the water, which is pumped around at about 60 degrees. So 85 is damned hot. So it's no wonder it does get warm in that cloakroom once it's been on long enough. But is it the right thing? Is it the right thing for the long term to have infrared panels in the bathrooms? I suppose in an ideal world, I'd have both, wouldn't I? In an ideal world, I'd have the infrared panel as decoration, as a mirror and an extra source of heat. And I'd also have the towel rail kitted out with an immersion in it as well. And then I'd have the best of both worlds. And I could work out what days suited one and what days suited another, perhaps. Maybe I would need to spend the money. Maybe it would make sense to have an immersion heater installed in one of the others now, and to see how I get on. So when I have that electrical work done, perhaps that's the time to have one changed so that I can try it and see how we get on, compared to an infrared panel. You know, sometimes I think I'm addicted to damn testing. Am I doing this for the sake of testing, or do I really need to, or do I know enough already to make a decision? It's really hard, because a heating system isn't for 5 minutes, it's not for a year, it's for many years into the future. So once you make a decision, spend some money, you really don't want to go back and redo it and do it over and over. So yeah, it's a little confusing right now as to what I want to do with heating. And these tests have really, really helped in working out what I want from a heating system. But installing this infrared panel has confused me slightly, because it works, but it sort of doesn't. And it's effective, but it's very inefficient if you want to leave it on. But that's just room heating rather than the infrared panel. So yeah, focusing my mind on heating the wet rooms as a separate to heating the entire house has probably helped me quite a lot in thinking about the sort of heating system that I want long term. Anyway, there you go. Infrared panels, are they the Holy Grail? Probably not. They solve a lot of issues. They're a dry heating system. They're very efficient from converting electricity to heat. That all works very, very well, and they're quite an attractive design. There's no noise from them, there's no smell from them. It is good, and they're environmentally friendly, I guess, as well, so long as they last long enough and you're not filling landfill with them. So yeah, they're not the Holy Grail, that's for certain. I am unconvinced about installing them around the house, but I do now know that as a directional heater, to try and heat, say, our daughter's area for where she is studying at a desk, if there was a position on a wall that could angle that heater more towards her, it would be a great way of providing heat for her in that sort of situation. I'm just less convinced about it being used to heat a room that we're not physically spending time in. So you are just doing it to heat the room and the fabric of the room, and not a person. Anyway, there you go. That's the update for you. I hope that was useful. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's been a laugh seeing my quandary, my indecision about what we're doing. But it's time to talk about my tire inflator. Yes, I did a review of this tire inflator, and lucky enough to have one to give away to somebody. So I set a question to say, what car am I going to be buying next? What electric car have I ordered? What car, model ideally, and colour? I would have been happy with just the car and the colour, but nobody got it right. Have I been too cryptic in telling you what I like and what I don't like about electric cars? And I can't believe most of you that gave me an answer said MG. I don't think I've been that favourable about MGs. They're a great value car, and that they are, you know, good cars. It's proving that they're being quite reliable as well. But they're just not for me. So no, I'm not going to be buying an MG. It's not going to suit my lifestyle or what I want or need from a car. So I am giving away this tire inflator to somebody that has given me a good guess. So I've chosen someone more at random rather than someone that actually got the answer right, because nobody got the answer right at all, I'm afraid. So Alan Burgess, congratulations. This is yours, and I will ensure I get it to you over the next few days, weeks, whatever. I'll contact you later on today, and we'll arrange to get this over to you. Thank you so much for watching, not just today, but throughout the year. Really enjoy your comments, and it's nice to know that it's just a good discussion topic, but it's also nice to know that we're helping other people with information, with opinions, with thoughts about how to do it and how to get started with solar panels, adding a home storage battery, going electric with electric cars, and also now heating, changing away from oil and gas boilers and getting on to a more environmentally friendly way of heating our home, but in an efficient, cheaper way of doing it as well. And yeah, at some point we'll talk around the hype, won't we, of air source heat pumps. I am still of two minds with them. It's a very expensive installation. You do get some of your money back with the grants that are available, but they are a cheaper way of heating your home. And in years to come, that will be important to me, to have that abundance of heat as well as having an abundance of energy that I'm not worried about, so I will have more heat on than I really need. And right now it doesn't make a lot of difference. I can walk around in a t-shirt, but you know, in 10-15 years time I might feel the cold a bit more. I might need my extra jumpers on and my woolly vest. Who knows? So yeah, the heating system I install needs to be right for now and the future. So with that, thank you again, take care, see you again soon. Bye for now.